So as we go on and after we finish the selfies, I would love to introduce our first speaker today. Our first speaker today is CA Raghu. He has been the past president of ICAI in the year 2014 and 15. He's a senior partner at K. Raghu and Company in Bangalore and holds a number of highly esteemed positions, including the director on board of Indian Overseas Bank, former board member of the International Federation of Accountants, New York. He is also a member of Audit Committee of the International Federation of Accountants and the chairman for CSR Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And before I tell you more about his achievements, why don't we have his intro played? And
our next speaker, CA Raghu, past president 2014-15 of ICAI and senior partner K. Raghu & Co., Bangalore. CA Raghu is a past president of ICAI and a senior partner K. Raghu & Co., Bangalore. He is a director on board of Indian Overseas Bank, former board member of the International Federation of Accountants, New York, and chairman of CSR Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He held various positions including technical advisor on the board of International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, New York, member on the board of the Confederation of Asia and Pacific Accountants, SAPA, chairman of the Committee on Education, Training and CPD of South Asian Federation of Accountants, SAFA, member of the Board of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, IRDA, member of National Advisory Committee on Accountant Standards, constituted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, and chairman of XBRL India. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome CA Raghu.
Good morning to all. Can we have the presentation, please? It gives me immense pleasure to be amongst you this morning at Dubai for the 36th International Conference being hosted by the Dubai chapter of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. My compliments to Naveen ji and his entire team for the hard work they have put in. And this morning when I came in to this beautiful hall, I told Naveen ji back home in India, you announced that you have a conference for the second day at 8:15. I don't think you'll have anyone coming to the conference so early. So compliments to all of you. That shows that all of you put in a lot of hard work to get up early in the morning. And I'm sure you'll have a good conferencing today. Friends, the topic given to me is global opportunities for the profession in the era of innovation. I think this is a very relevant topic for all of us because the way we're all operating a disruptive environment, it is absolutely essential for us as professionals to understand the changes that is taking place in the economy, various economies around the world, and how we should integrate ourselves to the changes that is taking place around us. Today, we're all operating in the digital economy. I think all of us have witnessed the agricultural revolution, We have seen the industrial revolution, and then we have seen the IT revolution. I come from a city like Bangalore. 15 years back, Bangalore was known for public sector undertakings. We had HAL, we had HMT, BL, BHEL, BEML. And then 15 years back, we had companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS coming in a big way. And the kind of change that has taken place in a small city like Bangalore is unimaginable. But today, what is happening, friends, is that what we are witnessing is a digital revolution, a revolution that would impact each one of us present here in this hall. And it is absolutely essential for us to adapt to this change. If we don't adapt to this change, I think the profession would really suffer in a big way. So internet is becoming all-invasive. Today, all of us use the internet, right from booking your family holidays, your air tickets. Everywhere you're using the internet extensively. And today, without the internet, you can't live. And in this scenario, the entire global economy is going digital. And the kind of push what we see in India is unimaginable. The current government is giving a big push to a cashless economy. And you see people, using their, Paytm for even buying a tender coconut on the, roadsides. So today, what is really happening in a country like India, a lot of fin apps have come, and everyone is, going cashless. As a result of which, the business models are changing. We never thought of Uber and Ola. Today, you have the housewives pulling out their phones and then ordering for an auto rickshaw on an Ola or Uber auto rickshaw, wherein we find that they're so comfortable and comfortable to use the new technology. So what is really happening is that business models are changing. And as a result of the change in business models, there's a need for us to understand how the entire digital economy works. Education has become online. Today, we have lakhs and lakhs of students in India who are subscribing to various online courses. Banking is online. The kind of push the Reserve Bank of India has given for mobile banking, internet banking, ATM banking is unimaginable. I serve on the board of Indian Overseas Bank, a leading public sector bank in India. We have 3,500 branches across the country. We have given a big push to the digital banking. And let me tell you, friends, today it's been a big success story in India. And I've seen the payment mechanisms, I've seen the banking portals in various other countries, and I can tell you the banking portals in India are, you could rate them to be one of the best. So we have a whole lot of development taking place, and then we have international value chains coming up because of the digital economy, and this improved market access. So you can just see the whole impact of the digital economy. It's impacting almost everything. You have health, tourism, banking, commerce, agriculture, education. The entire economy is going cashless, going digital, and this is something which each one of us should understand would impact all of us in our professional lives. This is the size of the digital economy. Almost 270,000 companies form the digital economy, and the revenues reported by these companies are 25% higher than that of non-digital companies. And then on an average, the digital employers hire 3% more than, employees that are being hired in the non-digital space. And the highest concentration of digital companies are outside London, and it's spread across the country and in places like, Manchester, Aberdeen, and Middlesbrough. So what is really happening is that the digital economy is shaking the whole global economy. So this is what it's supposed to be worth, 200 billion, 53,000 new jobs across the Indian economy, and around the world, 170 billion is what is expected from this particular economy. Coming to the role of chartered accountants, yes, all of us are heading various corporates as director of finance, financial controllers, audit managers, finance managers. Some of you might be in practice. Would the digital economy impact us? Yes, it would impact each one of us. So the next 20-25 minutes, I'll be talking about how the digital economy would impact each one of us, and how we need to reorient ourselves, reskill ourselves, and how best we can try to keep up with the expectations of the digital economy. Yes, cloud accounting would be the first big change that all of us would see. Today, all of us are used to working on the cloud. We find that accounting data is stored on remote servers. You're able to access the data of your client, data of your company sitting anywhere 24/7. You're waiting for a flight, you're waiting in the launch. You're able to store the accounting data which was not available earlier, as a result of which geography has become unimportant. And because of this cloud computing gaining importance around the world, what is important is that we as chartered accountants, we as auditors, have to start embracing cloud-based technology so that we're able to sync with the developments that is taking place in this platform. Because here what really happens is critical accounting data of your company, of your institution is lying on the cloud. And if something goes wrong, the first person who would be looked upon is the financial controller, director of finance, what happened to the numbers that is lying on the cloud. So it's absolutely essential to see that the accounting data, which is a critical data for any organization, which is lying in the cloud, is safe and secure. Who can provide this assurance to the management? I think we as chartered accountants are the right professionals to give an assurance to the management. Yes, our accounting information is in the cloud. It is secure. It is safe. So it is absolutely essential for you to understand how information security works, how exactly the information that is stored on the clouds are safe for the organization. So what really happens is that today, because of the fact that information is available in the cloud and you can analyze and access information very quickly, real-time analysis of results are possible, and a lot of flexibility in working, like how you can access your Gmail account sitting anywhere. You have a lot of ERP packages available where you can access accounting information online sitting anywhere in the world. And because of this, the new thing that is emerging is online real-time audits. Gone are the days where you are called upon to audit the books of a company maybe after the end of the financial year. In India, it's 31st March, and here it's 31st December. What is expected from you is that so many transactions are taking place on the internet. Today, customers are global. People are buying services, buying products across the world. Transactions happen on the payment gateway, and I think it is essential for us to ensure that we carry out an online real-time audit. And this particular online real-time audit is gaining importance around the world. Having served in IFAC, the International Federation of Accountants, a global body of accountants, we have red flagged this as one important area, and it is essential for us to develop competencies of auditing online real-time. And as a result of which, web trust audits are becoming very common, very critical, and very important for all of us to understand how exactly in a cloud environment, when transactions are on the net or on the cloud, how we can carry out online real-time audit so that all the transactions that are taking place on the internet are safe and secure, and you give an assurance to the management that all the information that is being recorded is correct. This is the next big change that is taking place that would impact each one of us. Today, if you see the advertisements in any of the newspapers or any of the online recruitment portals, they ask for chartered accountants with knowledge of analytics. They ask for engineers with knowledge of analytics. Analytics is playing a very big role. The pay packages are 4 times that of what you could earn today. Analytics would be a big game changer for our profession. If we don't understand analytics well, I think the other professionals would just jump in and try to seize the opportunities that are there in the field of data analytics. Friends, when we talk about data analytics, just reading through an article on analytics would not help. Just trying to understand how a analytics package works doesn't help. You need to have much more knowledge than that. You need to reskill yourself. You need to deep dive into the topic. You need to see if you can take up some certification courses. And what I would recommend and urge each one of you is that if you want to specialize in analytics, it is essential for you to put in a solid 6 months to 9 months for a course on analytics, understand how analytics can transform the way you can analyze information as a chartered accountant. So what is really happening is that as a result of analytics, the entire business, the way it is conducted is changing. Every organization is having tons of information. And tons of information has to be sliced. It has to be sort of, we have to fish out what is relevant to the organization. And as a result of which, we find that companies are using analytics in a big way, basically to save costs, to predict their cash flows, and various other, what you can say, applications are there. So this fuels a lot of new opportunities for all of us as chartered accountants. Analytics is the next big thing that would happen. So what would happen? We are the most ideal people to analyze financial information. Analytics is nothing but analyzing. And I think chartered accountants are the most ideal people to analyze financial information. And we can play a big role in big data. And it's absolutely critical for organization to have simple data that is easy to understand rather than having large and complex data sheets. And today, it is possible for you to analyze data from any point, any location, and connecting the data from any local network or cloud source. So what really happens is, today there's plenty of information available, financial information available in every organization. We need to understand what is relevant to the organization for decision making and try to see how best the right information is provided to the management for decision making. Today, we have analytical dashboards in almost all the softwares. So in a bank like us, we have analytic dashboards, like if you want to know the top 100 borrowers in a bank like us, we have analytics being used extensively in a public sector bank like Indian Overseas Bank, where we're able to scan the data, go through different aspects of lending, what is the lending that has happened in the infrastructure sector, real estate sector. So analytics is playing a big role, and I'm sure each one of us have to keep in mind the changes that is taking place around us. Talking about IFRS, yes, IFRS is the next big change that would impact all of us in the digital economy. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has taken a decision to, as the President said rightly yesterday, we have decided to align with what is happening globally. And it is essential for each one of us to understand what the new reporting standards are. I'm very happy that Dubai has been ahead. And today we find that most of the countries around the world have adopted IFRS, migrated to IFRS. And in India, we're in the last phase of implementation, where the third phase, where most of the other companies would also come under IFRS. As far as banks are concerned, banks had to adopt IFRS from 1st of April 2018, but the Reserve Bank of India has put it on hold because when we tried to apply IFRS to the Indian banks, the results were looking different. So the Reserve Bank of India said, let's wait for one more year and then look at adopting IFRS for the public sector banks in India. So what is really required is that there's a need for one set of global accounting standard, and that is how IFRS has got a huge opportunity. And if you are a professional having the knowledge of IFRS, you can travel, you can be recruited by any company around the world. So this is a basic requirement for you to have the knowledge of the new reporting standards. This is how the big picture of IFRS is. Countries are IFRS compliant. Most of the countries today are IFRS compliant. Not IFRS compliant is very few countries, and I'm sure in the next 1 year, you'll see a big change. So what would happen is that there'll be a lot of demand for chartered accountants having the knowledge of IFRS, demand for valuation experts, and companies would look at chartered accountants with IFRS specialization. In a country like India today, most of the companies are looking at chartered accountants having the knowledge of IFRS. So you can't escape from this particular reporting standards. You need to understand what is happening. Friends, the next big opportunity for all of us in the digital economy is in the area of technology consulting. Technology consulting is something very, very new, and we find that we have been slow. And when IFAC conducted a study about how accountants are embracing technology, it is shocking to know, have some water. It is shocking to know that in most of the countries, whether it is United States of America, whether it's Australia, whether it's Africa, the accountants have been slow in adapting to technology. This has been red flagged as one area of concern for the profession because the extent of technology we have embraced is not adequate. So it is absolutely essential for us to understand that how cyber security, cyber analytics, cyber intelligence can play a role, and each one of us can have an opportunity here. Today, the prime targets for cyber attacks is online media, insurance, telecommunication, e-commerce, and online payments. retail. Today, all the entities are having e-commerce platforms. In spite of having a brick and mortar operation, they do have an online platform where they can sell their products and services, as a result of which they are prone to cyber attacks. I think all of you would have been seeing in the papers, many organizations, especially the banks, are prone to cyber attacks. I think technology consulting is something, there's an opportunity for each one of us. And technology consulting is a lot to do with analytics, cyber intelligence, strategy and management. And yes, you need to, take up a course to understand how, technology consulting would impact each one of us. And it's critical for us to understand how cybersecurity can play a role in damaging your data. Coming to ERP implementation today, most of the chartered accountants have knowledge of ERP. And we find that today, the way chartered accountants are helping companies to migrate to ERP, especially in a country like India, most of the SMEs have started migrating to ERP. So if you have the knowledge of implementing ERP, there's a big opportunity. Earlier, a few years back, when we talk about the Indian companies, only the big companies used to use ERP. But today, all the small and medium enterprises, which constitute a big chunk of companies in India, are migrating to ERP. So if you have the knowledge of ERP back home, plenty of opportunities for you in ERP implementation. Coming to artificial business intelligence, this is something which all of us are aware that how artificial intelligence can help in real-time solutions. And artificial intelligence is something like, analyzing the latest tax laws and giving information to you. We talk what is known as expert systems. When we go to a particular expert to consult, artificial intelligence solutions can help you to have solutions readily available. And most of the AI solutions are today hovering around tax, they're built on tax utilities using artificial intelligence. Generally, those days when we were doing our CA, I'm sure all of us used to understand, read the latest High Court decisions, Supreme Court decisions, and because whenever you have a tax regime coming in, you have interpretation, you have litigation, you have tax representation happening, and in a place like Dubai, where you have from the new VAT that has come in from 1st January, all of you would see a lot of change that would take place in the tax regime, because currently you're all focusing on tax filings. But over a period of time, you'll have interpretation issues, you'll have litigation, you'll have, tax planning, and a lot of things that is happening. And artificial intelligence can play a very big role. You have a tax software that can, it's something like Siri on your iPhone. You want to know which is the nearest restaurant that can give you an Indian, South Indian meal. It's as simple as that. You can have a tax utility that can help you to access some of the recent, decisions that have happened either in the High Court or Supreme Court or your local authorities. So basically, what is really happening is that artificial intelligence is helping in cost control. Whenever there's a possibility of cost control, I think the management would be very keen. And I believe that artificial intelligence would be one next big area that would impact the profession. Friends, coming to blockchain, all of us have been listening to blockchain. We're trying to understand how blockchain would impact all of us. Blockchain is nothing but a list of records called blocks, which are linked to each other. So what really happens is that if you can see the, the geographical illustration there, if there's a, a change that you need to make in, let us say, block 74, it would not be easy. You have to restrict yourself to the change that takes place in block 74. So it's basically a distributed ledger that can record transactions. And to give you a simple example how blockchain would work, let us say in the banking industry, today you go to the bank, you present a check to withdraw your cash, and the teller at the counter looks into the balance in your account and authorizes the check, and she passes the check on to another person who rechecks it. But in a blockchain environment, everything would be automated. As and when you present the check, the lady sitting at the counter can find out whether you have the balance. Simultaneously, there's another lady who can also validate that transaction, and payments can happen instantaneously. In a blockchain technology, what would really happen is that data will be more secure. And because of cryptocurrencies that have come in a big way, blockchain became popular. But today, blockchain is being used in various organizations, various institutions, especially in the banking industry. That is where you'll see blockchain happening in a big way. And today, a lot of IT companies in India are working on blockchain to see how blockchain can be implemented in the banking system. And most of the global banks today are looking at using blockchain And I think as chartered accountants, it's absolutely essential for us to understand how blockchain works, how exactly blockchain can bring about a transformation, the way the payments are processed. So what would really happen is reduction. That is the basic advantage of in a blockchain. Today, all of you are aware the kind of frauds the banking system in India is prone to. And with most of the banking systems around the world are built on a centralized database that is more vulnerable. The current scenario is that we have CBS, where the entire data is built on one database. But way forward, what would happen is in blockchain, it is possible that frauds can be reduced, because what really happens is that once a hacker breaches one system, they can access to only that block. They'll not be able to tamper the entire data. In a blockchain, information is stored in different blocks. So if he wants to tamper any information, he can tamper the information in that particular block. He will not be able to tamper the information across the organization. So that is the biggest advantage, fraud reduction. And we're talking about payments. This could be transformative. As I said, going to a bank would be a new experience. Gone are the days where you have to spend half an hour, 40 minutes to draw cash. Everything would happen instantaneously, and the experience would be extremely good. I had the opportunity of seeing a blockchain presentation in New York when a presentation was made to the IFAC board as to how accountants can play a role in blockchain technology. And let me tell you, friends, there's a big opportunity for all of us in blockchain. Coming to the fintech is a new future. And coming from a city like Bangalore, Bangalore's got a whole lot of fintech companies operating, which are into lending, personal finance, consumer banking. And with digital currency and e-wallets becoming very popular, the government giving a big push for digital currency, we find that a lot of changes have taken place in portfolio management, selling insurance online, then stock market trading, invoicing. Invoicing today, is also getting automated. Like how you get into a departmental store today and you pick up various products from the shelves, you have a lady at the billing counter just trying to scan the barcode. What would happen way forward is that the entire accounting would become automated. Your receipt vouchers, your purchase bills, your sales bills, everything would be barcoded. So you will have a non-accountant sitting in front of the computer and scanning these vouchers, and everything would get punched into your ERP systems. That is the way the analytics would change, the technology would impact. It is really not necessary for you to know whether it's an expenditure voucher, whether it's an, it's a purchase bill, whether it's a sales bill. Everything is automated, it's barcoded, and the one person sitting there is able to put the barcode. She can just scan it, and the entire punching of information would become very easy. So what really happened is that fintech is a new feature. There's an opportunity for all of us, because in fintech companies, chartered accountants can play a very important role. Coming to e-commerce, we've already talked about how e-commerce has impacted the life of each one of us. I would not like to dwell much into that. But here what is important is that when so much of funds are coming to the payment gateway of your company, you need to give an assurance to the management that all the transactions happening in the respective company, the money is coming to the company, and the payments are happening properly. So there's a whole lot of opportunity for you in the e-commerce space. It could be helping startups to set up a company, it could help them in tax consultation. Funding is one big space for startup funding. You can play a big role in the digital economy in trying to help startups. You can handle business structuring, and this particular opportunity in the e-commerce space is more or less the same in almost all the jurisdictions. Coming to the innovation in the profession, I think today small businesses have started to use the do-it-yourself tax software. Today, GST, for example, in India has brought about a huge revolution, the way your tax returns are being filed. And you have a lot of softwares available where businessmen are able to do it themselves. They don't need a chartered accountant to file just GST returns. Earlier, they used to go to a chartered accountant, but today, the kind of utilities that are available, the kind of softwares that are available, it's brought about a big change in the way the returns are being filed. So the role of chartered accountants is moving from preparing data to analyzing the data. There's a need for us to innovate in our audit techniques. Auditing around the computer would not help. You need to have audit tools. You need to have new methods in which you could carry out an audit. And cloud accounting automation helps in audit efficiency. So we are working in a disruptive era. I think all of us should understand that when everything is getting disrupted, even our profession can get disrupted. We should be ready for this disruption. And one good thing about our profession is that we are open to change. A new law came here, all of you quickly learned the new law and you're able to help the client. New law came in India, all of us were quick enough, very quick enough to adapt to the new changes. That is one big skill set all of us as chartered accountants have, adapting to the change that is taking place around us. So what is very important is that we need to manage change, because every day you walk into your office, you sit down, you interact with a new client, you realize that there's something new you're learning. So the entire business environment is changing, business models are changing. There's a need for us to adapt ourselves to the changes, and as a result of which, it is absolutely essential for us as chartered accountants to understand the change that is taking place. Borderless world. Today, chartered accountants in Dubai are handling clients in Singapore, chartered accountants in Bangalore are, servicing clients in Dubai. Become a borderless world. Gone are the days when, chartered accountants used to sit in their office, they used to have appointments, they used to meet the, auditor for their tax queries or consultation. But what is happening is that you are able to provide services to clients seamlessly sitting at your place in Dubai, offering services to clients around the world. This is one big change. So you need to learn to work multiple accounting systems. You can't say, no, I don't know this. That doesn't work. If you're operating in a global environment, you need to deal with people from different backgrounds, different societies, different accounting systems. So the knowledge of accountants to be pan-globe, which would help in trying to leverage on the opportunities. Credibility and financial reporting, very important. And today, what is really happening is the lawmakers have slowly, the perception is that chartered accountants are being blamed, that a lot of scandals are taking place and CAs are responsible. I think all of you know about Satyam, the Global Trust Bank, the recent PNB. Profession is, looked upon. So it's absolutely essential for us to keep in mind that the entire world is watching us. Anything goes wrong, it is the chartered accountants to be blamed. So we can't say, no, we were not aware of this computer system. We were not aware of its payment mechanism. We were not aware about this cloud computing. We can't escape. So when the change is taking place, you need to understand the change. You need to see how best we can try to, give a thing to the public that, yes, we are current, we are updated, we know what is happening, and we give an assurance to the society at large that we are the right people to look at. Then this is something which already touched upon, and strong corporate governance is something which each one of us can play a very good role in trying to see that the right ethics is being followed in the organization. I think here is something all of us can play a very important role. Today, what is happening is people are borrowing from the banks. They are willful defaulters. Funds are being diverted for non-business purposes. I think if we are able to build in those mechanisms, good governance practices, things can change. And then coming to very quickly, the most popular destinations for all of us, because when you're looking at global opportunity, you need to know the opportunities that are available to us. Gulf, I would not talk much because most of you are from the Gulf region. But here I would like to say is that Gulf has been a biggest success story for India. Like more than 15 to 20,000 chartered accountants are there in the Gulf region. They're all doing extremely well. But one thing which I see, because having been in the institute, is that many of the people who are working in the Gulf region would like to come back home at some point of time, maybe after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. One message to all of you who want to come back home is that whenever I interact with them, whenever they meet me, they have absolutely low level of confidence. What I would like to tell you, in case you want to come back to India at any point of time, there's absolutely no reason for you to feel that, no, we are not aware of the tax laws, we don't know how to represent before the tax authorities, the Indian corporates would not look at us. No, all this is wrong. I have come across many friends of mine who have relocated to India, who have been successful enough in leading corporates in India, and it's absolutely essential for you to keep in mind that things have changed, the dynamics have changed. What was the scenario for practice and industry in those days when you left India, things have changed a lot. So there's a great opportunity for all of you to come back and get into practice. You can get into consulting, you can help startups, you can get into various other areas like business consulting, management consulting, startup consulting. If you want to get into industry, plenty of opportunities. If you have the knowledge of IT security, any company in Bangalore would be ready to employ you. If you have the knowledge of IFRS, any of the big corporate in India would like to employ you. So please don't feel that I've worked in Kuwait for 15 years. I've worked in Dubai for 15 years. I'm not ideal for the Indian market. Please remove that fear out of your mind. Many chartered accountants whom I have interacted have this problem. So what I would like to tell you, the message which I would like to give is that at any point of time, back home, the doors are open, plenty of opportunities, lot of money, and chartered accountants having the right skill sets can have a very effective role to play back home. And then coming to India, these are the opportunities just for you to get an idea. The whole GST has changed. We have the direct taxes. Everything is online in India. Gone are the days we used to file the return, manually. Everything is online. Assessments electronically are being done by the government. So a lot of changes have taken place. We are having IFRS. So you are in sync with what is happening in India is what I would like to convey. This is Australia. We have a lot of opportunities in Australia, in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Canberra. We have MRAs with the CPA Australia and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand. And if you're looking at a career in banking, if you're looking at a career in pension and insurance sectors, I think if you're looking at a, can I have this? Yeah, if you're looking at a career in banking, pension and insurance sectors, I think Australia is the right destination. So you need to decide where you want to go, and I'm sure Australia is a happening country and plenty of opportunities. And once you have a degree in India, very quickly you can pick up the local degree and the local CPA membership of CPA Australia or the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand, and then become a successful professional. SARC, we are working with many of these countries, plenty of opportunities, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, a lot of opportunities are there, Bhutan. So this is something which you need to keep in mind. United States of America, no breakthrough. You need to have the AICPA, you have to have a degree for them. We are working on local mutual recognition, but for some reason, it has really not taken off. But yes, a whole lot of CAs operating in the United States of America, offering consulting services. Exciting destination for you to be there, and you can be extremely successful in, in a country like United States of America. Finally, friends, what I would like to conclude is that our profession has a great future. I can only say that in spite of many challenges, in spite of so many changes that is taking place around us, I have interacted with chartered accountants in almost all the geographies. Chartered accountants from Africa, from Brazil, America. Let me tell you, friends, our professionals from India, I can say that we could shine wherever we are around the world. I've interacted with many CFOs around the world, and they tell me Indian chartered accountants are the best. And each one of you are standing examples for that. If you are extremely successful here, it is because of our education. It is because of the fact that can you help me this? So it is because of the fact that all of us are able to sort of, in spite of the various challenges, I think the profession is exciting. Today, what is happening is that public at large are looking at greater transparency. They're looking, the regulators are looking at greater transparency, and we have a role to play here. Then financial and non-financial information, both are looking very important today. And the profession is definitely attractive for the young and talented today. A whole lot of young professionals are joining the profession. We have changed the new curriculum, as our president said. And we have very quickly integrated technology in our working. I think this is something which all of us should be happy. And it is essential for us to be innovative to attending to clients' demands. Clients' demands keep changing. I think there's something which we need to keep in mind. And we should be open to work with people from different backgrounds, different cultures. You might be working with an accountant, CFO of a company who's in Japan. You might be working with a CFO from China. You should be open to their culture, open to their language. You need to learn quickly. So basically, the way forward for the profession is exciting. And I would like to, conclude by saying that each one of us are extremely lucky to be a part of this profession. And I'm sure we can do an excellent job in showcasing ourselves to the world that we are the best accountants that any country could boast of. And I would like to thank the Dubai chapter for having invited me for this conference. and I can wish good luck to each one of you. And anytime you're in Bangalore, you can reach out to me. You can feel free to send me an email. Any help you would like to have back home in India, yes, you could look for me. I would be ready to offer my services to you. Thank you very much.